And we are live. It's Lynn Bardowski, founder at $1 Million Party Girl. This is episode 55 of Social Girl Live. Tonight we are talking all about sponsoring, or you might call it recruiting, whatever you call it. I am going to be taking your questions and answering them live right here on the show. And at the same time, so this is a 2-for, we are going to be showing you a brand new update to BeLive.tv. So if you did not know, my show broadcast using BeLive. Again, that's BeLive.tv. There's a free version. I have the paid version, which is pretty affordable for, especially if you're a direct sales leader and you're using this for team training. But they just rolled out an update where you can broadcast with 4 people on screen together. All right, so I'm going to remove my frame. So this is another fun option when you're using BeLive. You can remove the frame and bring in some of our guests so you guys can see what this looks like. So these are all part of our VIP Visionista community. And here's Dawn. Hey, Dawn.
Hello. Hi.
Dawn, you want to introduce yourself? Tell everybody what you do and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Dawn Canals. I live in Southern California in Fullerton, and I am an independent wardrobe stylist for Cabby.
Welcome. And you had some in our pre-show interview.
Yeah.
We take this show very seriously.
Very seriously.
You had some great sponsoring questions. So just hold on to that. I'm going to also add 2 more guests so everybody can see what that looks like.
Sure.
And here comes Royanna. Hey, Royanna.
Hello.
How are you? And we can put your names on screen there. So
all right.
My frame so everybody can see you. Rihanna, you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're from?
You bet. Royanna Stratton. I am from snowy South Dakota, and I am a team leader with Usborne Books and More.
All right, and here comes Vivian. Dee Dee, I see you in the green room, so hang in there. We'll invite you in too. So here we go. This is what it looks like with 4 people. Hey, Viv.
Hi.
You want to introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're from?
I am from California. I am an independent paparazzi consultant.
This is just our test. So this is one of the views. We can also do it this way. And so your screen could be a guest. So I could actually have myself and have 3 screens open. I don't know why I would want to do that, but just in case I wanted to, go ahead. Or 2 people and have 2 screens open. So you can also count your screen sharing as a guest on the show, just to give you guys the inside scoop to that. All right, so I am going to, Viv, I'm going to send you back to the green room. So again, we can bring people in and out. Dawn, go ahead.
Okay, great. My question was, I had an opportunity to have a session with Lori, and with Cabby, we're not a company that is inexpensive to join, and we have a lot of requirements, basically meeting your minimums, and it's a lot of work. It's a real job. So Lori and I discussed just focusing on the entrepreneurship, basically earn while you learn, so they can come on and do 4 shows with me and earn a commission. Which I think is really great. So we developed a program called 2 in the Queue. So on my show, I can talk about, hey, I have only 2 more spots left in my entrepreneurial spot. So if you want to try Cabby out, get your little toe in the water, but earn while you're learning, this is it. But see, because my problem is always people are interested, but yet when it comes down to signing on the dotted line, they're like, then they go MIA.
They freak out.
They freak out.
Yes. So we did talk about this a little bit, and you're mentioning Lori. That's Lori Girardi for our viewers that don't know. She's one of my co-collaborators in many of our projects, including Party Plan School and Live Stream School. We do some really fun, great collaborations together. She's very super smart. Make sure you guys follow her as well. And they're like, yes. Lori and I have the same brain. So Dawn, yes, we have to remember that, what holds people back many times is fear, right? It's two things, fear and lack of belief and confidence.
Yeah.
So the more we dump on people and we get sometimes too stuck in the details.
Yeah.
Because maybe you are a goal getter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of people that you want to attract. You want serious business people to work with.
Right.
But sometimes in doing that, we scare the people that could be that person, but they haven't stepped into that yet. They're just not ready to step into that. So you want numbers. The way that you find those top quality people, you gotta kiss a lot of frogs. Okay. Yeah. So you want to sponsor a lot of people. And many times you have to keep it simple. And it could be as simple as, and this is how I sponsored a lot of people, was when you start with the sponsoring question first, you actually book more parties. And so I would start the conversation of seeing if there was a need when I was working and even at the ordering process at a party, talking to people. And you hear people complaining all the time, right? Especially at those in-person parties. They're complaining about their job. They're complaining about their kids' private school and how much this costs. And oh my gosh, our car just broke down. All we need to do is tune in. So I would say something like, oh my gosh, I heard that your car's in the shop and you don't even know, how you're going to be able to afford that. Have you ever thought of doing something like this? And you literally are just planting that seed, because sponsoring is a process and it really takes people time to go through that process. Very few people are going to be like, yes, I'm ready right now. Yeah. So we're just starting to get them in that thought process of this could be that amazing thing that you're looking for. And typically they would be like, I don't know, not sure. And so I would say, let's at least book a decision party so that you can see if this is even for you.
Okay.
And using that positive body language, right? You're nodding, they're nodding. And so many times I would get the party booked. It is literally the baby steps. Once they have a party booked, and then they experience that success. And it's very much like, joining a gym or starting a diet. Once you get that success, that's when you get excited.
Yeah.
And that's when you build the belief. And that's when you're like, wow, maybe this can be the thing that I'm able to leave my corporate career and work full time. But people, they have to experience that first.
And then my second question was, how beneficial is it to do, we talked about the weekly broadcast, like Sunday night at 8:00 Pacific, going on my Cabby website and talking about the career opportunity.
Yes, I think you should do a weekly opportunity event. I'm a big fan of that. Again, it just gives you a place to send people, to invite people, to even find out if people have an interest. It's just that those conversations you could have, like, hey, come learn more and check it out. And so that you find out if there's even an interest. And so I would do that weekly, and Facebook Live makes that very easy to do. Right? You can go live. And so I had a 4-part formula. We're actually going to be teaching this in our party plan school on Monday nights. Obviously that will be a whole lot longer, but I had a little acronym that I created to make it really easy for me to know how to kind of get people through that process. And it's funny because you're from California, and the acronym was CALI.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. This will be so easy for you to remember and give too. CALI. And it was compliment, and it has to be authentic. You can't just make stuff up. But again, you need to build that belief for people. So you could say something like, oh my gosh, Dawn, you have such great energy. You're so fun. You're somebody that I could really see building an amazing business with this. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? And then you just shut up. So the C is the compliment. The A is the ask, right? So I did, that's exactly what I did. I complimented and then I asked. All I want to know is there an interest? The L is listen, because we tend to keep going.
Yeah.
All we want to do is see what interests them. And then the I is invite.
Okay.
You listen to what they say, you repeat back to them. Oh, so what you're saying is this might be something, but you're not sure if it's for you or if you have the time. Whatever, they're going to give you that obstacle up front. So acknowledge that. Let them know that you heard them. Don't try to overcome the obstacle. That's the worst thing that you can do. Acknowledge it. And then you invite them. So I'm having this Learn More event Thursday night, 8 o'clock. You can watch live right on Facebook. Super easy. Why don't you come check it out? Easy to say yes to. All right, Dawn, I'm going to pop you out and I'm going to bring another guest in. All right, so Rihanna, do you have a question?
I do, and I bet a lot of our viewers have the same questions. So maybe give us a thumbs up if this is you guys, but I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. You know, my degrees were sociology and social work, so I wasn't a salesperson either, nor as a librarian was I a salesperson. But I have a pretty good personality for that. But we're trying to get all kinds into our companies, and I know that I'm sure a lot of people can tell of a success story they've heard where, you know, coming into direct sales was the best thing that ever happened to them because they found a whole new them. There was something inside that they didn't even know was possible. But how do we get them, other than through stories like we learned in Party Plan School on Monday night, through stories, you know, imagine, by the way, all those great words, but how can we just bring that to them so that they do get off the fence and come on over? Because once we get them, we can work with them.
I don't know what it is with women and selling. Women don't like to sell. We like to sell other people's things. We don't like to sell our own stuff. We'll tell everybody where to buy the purse, the shoes, the makeup. So we can sell. If we want a new piece of furniture, we're going to sell it like it's the best thing since sliced bread to our significant other, right? But when it comes to our stuff, it's that mental block that I don't want to be pushy. So there's a bigger thing happening there, right? And you give me somebody with a psychology background any day of the week.
Yes.
So when people say, so again, that's just it's all about lack. That is a lack of belief and confidence that's coming through. It's not they can't do it. They can do it well when it's something that they want, right? So that's what you have to make people realize. So many times, instead of us sharing our example, I would ask them to share their own example and make it relatable to their experience.
So something they were successful at, then ask them about a moment they were proud of, or
yeah, like you could say, have you ever convinced your husband to buy something for your home? That's, you know, not to be stereotyping, but that's something that every mom can relate to, right? Or have you ever wanted something so bad for your kids?
I like those words.
Have you ever convinced somebody to want something that you wanted to have because you knew it was the right thing and you wanted it so bad? Maybe a trip or, you know, extra activity for the kids, or half the time the kids are selling to them. Take the word sales out of it. If people don't like to sell, stop calling it selling, because at the end of the day, this is not about selling. This is about relationships.
Right, and sharing, right. Yep, I know you've said that too, right.
Yeah. Honestly, sponsoring is just asking questions. It's knowing the right questions to ask and letting the person that you're speaking to come up with the answer. That's when people can see themselves doing it.
Wow, that really steps away from, you know, the product, which is the kit, the starter kit. So that's great.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you've got to build belief and confidence. That is the real issue. It's not that they don't want to do it. It's all these other excuses are lies. Seriously.
They're just calling the bluff, right?
Exactly. So you have to believe in people enough that you don't give up. And that's when you start to sponsor consistently.